Hello again, my name is James Burton, and in this video I'm going to show you what we basically did for the creation of VFX in general in the game. I want to keep this to a more kind of like particle system level effects, just basically showing how we were able to kind of speed up a bit the process of traditional particle system creation, and how we kept it within the core style of Ether without losing any visual integrity. So the first thing I actually want to do is I'm going to open my contrast. I'm just going to move this out of the way. There's not much that you're going to be missing. But what I wanted to show you is how we were basically cutting corners in the right places in order to create high quality effects that allowed for good performance and to save a lot of time, resources, and paying licenses that we probably couldn't afford. So what I want to do, for example, is show you our fire particle system. And I will just place this here. And I'm just going to create a few duplicates and scale them so it's a bit easier to understand what's going on. So we've got our fire here, and as you can see, it follows with the painterly style of Ether. I'm actually going to lower the amount of bloom that we've got going on here. So I'm going to put this to 0.4 or something, so it's a bit easier to see the fire. So this is the fire that we have for Ether, and as you can see, it follows in style with the painterly style of Ether. It uses broad brush strokes in order to render and to read as fire. And as you can see, we're trying to get a natural flow and motion of fire. So traditionally in video games, especially the bigger AAA productions that try to go for this hyper-realistic style of games, they would go into Maya or any effects package that has fluid dynamic simulations and start tinkering with volumes and basically generate fluid dynamics that would resemble fire. Then after that, you would create a play blast or a good render of an animation of that, and you would basically cut that down into a load of images in order to play it as basically billboards inside of UDK, and or the game engine of choice that you use. What we did was kind of skip the whole fluid simulation part. One of the reasons was I'm not too comfortable with fluid dynamics as of now. I've not done too much, and we needed this kind of work being faster, and also the very realistic nature of generating those fluid dynamics wouldn't really gel with Ether. And one of the reasons why we picked the art style for Ether is that because it would again allow us to work at a faster pace and produce high quality art assets. So we wouldn't be using fluid dynamics. The second reason is because they're really time consuming. It's really hard to get them right, and it's really performance intensive on your computer to render those. So we wanted to stay away from generating that kind of work because simply it was really impossible for us to do. And if we were going to use any other third-party software to generate them, we couldn't pay for the licenses or anything like that. So we fully decided to move away from that style. One of the lectures that I had, and her name was Claire Norcross, was very, very inspiring to me, and it's particularly one of the parts where she talks about how the more traditional media helps inspire her designs. Basically helps inspire her designs to a more modern era and to generate them using modern systems. She gave an example of this lamp that she was creating, and she was on the train. Basically, she created a model out of paper, folding paper, and used that to kind of give that to the engineers to actually create the lamp that she wanted in metal. So that was actually really inspiring to me, and it made me kind of think of how I can adapt more traditional media to games, and how maybe that would impact the performance that I mean, the amount of resources that we have to use to actually generate the assets that we want. I started looking into it, and when we basically generate fluid dynamics, we end up generating a flipbook essentially. So that's something that was very interesting to me, because obviously traditional animation and flipbooks are something that have been around for ages, and something that I think, knowing the style of Ether and how it could work, it was fairly plausible that it would work as a particle system kind of generator. So I looked into it, and using videos of fire and other people's actual fluid dynamic simulations, I let other people do the hard work for me. I was able to come up with this. It's basically a flipbook. It's 4 by, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 4 by 8, and basically it's fire in different stages. And what we basically do is we actually play this as a sequence, and it actually generates a particle system that it's pretty convincing as fire, and works with the art style that we created. So we were very happy with that, and this not only extended to fire. Obviously, we've got stuff like bubbles, if I can find it. I can show you the bubbles that we created. So we created I created a flipbook of bubbles, and as long as the particle system could generate those kind of bubbles in a random sequence, we could get cool bubbles. So we've got a load of bubbles here, and this is for an underwater sequence that I'll be showing you later when I do the cinematic section of this. We had this of fallen leaves. So for Ether we could generate particle systems really quickly, and simply using traditional flipbooks. So it was a win-win situation. We cut down a lot of time, we saved money, and we saved a lot of stress. What I wanted to do next is basically show you, I guess, the pinnacle of or the most advanced examples of how I'm using tech and everything I've learned creating the particle systems for the fire and the bubbles and everything in between. That kind of led to these two core objects and very important objects in the world of Ether. The first one that we've got here is the Ether rock, and it symbolises the illness of the patient, so it needs to be destroyed. And also we have the ribbon, and the ribbon has become one of the most important assets of the game, and it's basically the main asset that allows you to progress. And as you pick up these ribbons, which symbolise fragments of a memory in a world, you unlock new notes each time you pick up a ribbon that end up making the melody of a music box. As you can see, like it's very surrealistic, and it keeps in tone with the style of Ether and with the kind of like watercolor flowing out of the ribbon. This hopefully gets the idea across that it's the memory bleeding into the world and generating it, I guess. And then the important thing with this was that it would have to be very eye-drawing and make the player want to go to it, and also extremely rewarding when you pick them up. And this material for the actual flow of the ribbon is one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I'm very proud of it, and I think it's very cool. So I'll just go ahead and play and basically show you what they look like. So first I'm gonna destroy the Ether rock, and for this I need my lamp. Sorry. Lamp. So with my lamp I can now go ahead and destroy the Ether rock. As you can see, all the pieces of the rock have basically evaporated. And this is the ribbon. So as I said before, each time we collect a ribbon we get one note. So I'm going to show you this ribbon, and then I'll click all the others to kind of like show you the end of the sequence. I'll be skipping ahead to that anyway, so don't worry. So as I pick up each one of these ribbons, you'll see that one note gets added to the melody. So you hear there 2 notes. This would be a 3rd one. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the last one now. So here we are. I've picked up all the ribbons that were in this level, and I'm here at the last one, so hopefully you'll enjoy this. NJR sound designer did a great job at making these cool. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be showing you more of the work that I've done, and hope you enjoyed it, yeah.